Hi guys, here is F1 to you, and in today's video I'm going to talk about Sebastian Vettel's future in Formula 1 and whether a Mercedes move is really on table for him. But first of all, I'd like to ask you to give a like to this episode and subscribe to this channel if you want to receive more content like this. Shock driver moves don't represent an uncommon subject in Formula 1. There are plenty of examples of driver switches that absolutely nobody expected. Some of these proved to be a lot more inspired than they seemed at their time, like Lewis Hamilton's move to Mercedes in 2013, while others didn't manage to bring the promised success, like Daniel Ricciardo's switch to Renault at the end of 2018. So, after the announcement that Sebastian Vettel will be leaving Ferrari at the end of this year, there is a huge question that lies ahead. What next for the four-time world champion, and can he get his hands on a Mercedes seat? To answer this question, we firstly have to go back in the early 2010s, Sebastian's period of supremacy in Formula 1, and see what are the conditions that Red Bull offered him in order to make him unleash his full potential and whether Mercedes can offer him that. Firstly, what we can observe in Seb's career in Formula 1 is that in every year that saw him move to a new team, he literally reinvented himself, being massively encouraged by the new beginnings and getting a huge confidence boost from them. He always liked new challenges and wasted no time to rise to the expectations. 2008, his first full year with Toro Rosso, amazingly saw him taking the first pole and win for the team in Formula 1 even before the mother team Red Bull could do that. He also became the youngest pole sitter and race winner at the time, being a constant point scorer that year, which convinced Red Bull to give him a seat for the following season. In 2009, he also impressed everybody by taking the first pole and win for Red Bull, outscoring his more experienced teammate Mark Webber and finishing second in the championship. Then, after another 5 years and 4 consecutive titles with Red Bull, in 2015 he moved to Ferrari, where he took 3 wins and constantly finished on the podium, being the only non-Mercedes driver to win that year. So, in my opinion, his impressive debut seasons show that he needs to know that he has the full support and trust of the team behind him, but more importantly, they show that he can operate at his maximum potential only when he also fully believes in his team's capability to grow and ultimately to win titles. I think that over the last 2 years, he has started to lose his confidence that Ferrari can rise their game to the level of Mercedes, but Sebastian is a driver that can make incredible comebacks. In 2010 and 2012, he did amazing recoveries to win the championship. But also in 2015, he found again the form that most of the people believed he had lost in 2014. So I expect him to be absolutely flying in that Ferrari this year, taking the fight to Leclerc and trying to show he's still one of the best out there and that he deserves to be in a race-winning machine after 2020. Also, I believe that the extra downforce on the Ferrari car this year will really suit his driving style, and because he's also in his final year with Ferrari, I really think that we will see a very fast and bitter Sebastian Vettel this year. Whether he's going to join a midfield team like Racing Point, the future Aston Martin, I do not think so unless the pink Mercedes can take the fight to the top 3 teams this season. Seb isn't anymore one of the youngest drivers on the grid, so I do not think it would make a lot of sense for him to join a growing team that could take 4 or even 5 years to get to the top of the field. Also, I doubt he would go in a car that isn't yet capable of winning races after all these frustrating years with Ferrari. Even more than that, Sebastian's Ferrari years have demonstrated that in order to perform at maximum potential, he needs a stable car design with the right balance between power, handling and aerodynamics, like the one Red Bull offered him. Ferrari's design line has been massively changing between 2017, when they had a car with lots of downforce, and 2019, when their cars were absolutely flying in the straights but lacking speed in the corners. Also, Sebastian is the kind of driver that needs to have a strong relationship with the team's management, like he had with Christian Horner at Red Bull, in order to get all out of the car. In this regard, Mercedes also seems to be the most advantageous, as Toto Wolff has a very good relationship with both Mercedes drivers and also managed to deal very well with the Hamilton-Rosberg rivalry. As for Vettel, he's eager to show why he's a 4-time world champion. He wants to prove that he still has it, so that's why I believe that if he wants to continue in Formula 1 after 2020, his only target is Mercedes, a team that could potentially give him a 5th world championship. But is he what Mercedes are looking for? The reigning world champions have already shown that they can manage an intra-team rivalry between 2014 and 2016. During those years, Rosberg and Hamilton had a very bitter relationship, and sometimes they even came to blows. However, the team did very well in extracting the maximum potential out of both of them. Of course, in 2014, 15 and 16, Mercedes clearly had the fastest car, but also the drivers were at the top of their game and in the end finished 1 and 2 in all of these years. So yeah, I do not think Mercedes would fear too much to have 2 alpha drivers in the team, because they have already proven themselves capable of managing a situation like this. But why would they change the flawless driver lineup that brought them so many titles in the recent years after all? Well, in my opinion, if Bottas will have a very strong season this year, constantly challenging for the wins or even for the title and having no off weekends, his team will retain him, because it would be just dumb to change a winning team with a pair of drivers that get so well along and are extremely fast. However, if Bottas doesn't deliver the expected results, I believe the team will really take into consideration to give his seat to another driver. But why would Mercedes give that seat to Vettel and not to their junior driver George Russell? Undoubtedly, Vettel represents one of the most iconic figures in the paddock right now. Besides that he can be bonkers quick when he has the right people behind him, he also holds an impressive number of 4 titles under his belt. Add that to Hamilton's 6 titles, maybe 7 if he also wins this year, and you would get an astonishing all-star driver lineup that Formula 1 have never seen before. Just think about the immense publicity that Mercedes would get from this story. The best 2 drivers of the decade battling for supremacy in equal machinery. In the end, I think that yes, Mercedes are going to roll the dice and shock us all by signing Vettel for 2021 and rewrite the history books with a team that the sport have never seen before. But what do you think, guys? Will Mercedes stick with their current driver lineup in 2021? Will they sign Vettel? And if not, what do you think he's going to do after his Ferrari contract expires? Please let me know your opinion in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode.